Taylor, what was the response like in the dugout whenever Tim hit that grand slam, and just how big of a lift did it feel like once it happened?
Yeah, what Coach B says and what he said in the pregame meeting was, we need those icebreakers and need guys to, really get the crowd into it and really, make the dugout, kind of take that pressure off a little bit. And so, obviously Tim doing what he does and what he's done all year, why wouldn't it be him? So it was just a great feeling. And then obviously off the bat, just knew it was gone and just so happy for him. And was just nice to, really throw the first punch and get after that guy.
It's an obvious question, but what does it mean to you to have the single season record for saves?
Just super thankful. Just it's a really cool feeling, but super thankful for the coaches. And one guy that might not get much credit is Chris Godoris, our director of ops. He kind of is the guy that looked into why I kind of got hit around my first year and what would make me better. And they took the time and research and looked into what kind of things I could change about my repertoire and how I could become better. And so, just thankful for them to take the time in me and not give up on a kid. And just it's been a surreal moment for sure.
We'll go to Nick.
Just with what the last 2 years have been like for you, Taylor, just how cool was it to get to pitch in a regional with runner on base? You come in a one-score game, that sort of type of thing.
For sure, as a reliever, it's kind of the moment you live for. And to come in there and just obviously have trust in Rock and being able to just throw the pitches like I need to, and having trust in the defense behind me and just fill it up, and things go the right way. And just glad to be back out here at the postseason at Swayze after a long awaiting.
Ben?
Another obvious question, Taylor, but the build-up this week was Derek starting tonight and holding Doug for tomorrow. But now that y'all have gotten a win and having Doug go on Saturday, how does that set you up for the weekend, and how big of a confidence boost is that?
About as ideal as it gets. I mean, obviously running Derek out there, he's just as good as anybody else out there. And just to throw a good start like that and settle us in, and then allow for us to throw the first punch, like I said, is just huge. And then obviously we got Doug going tomorrow, super confident in him, and then Drew on the back end. So just looking to seal this thing up and continue moving forward.